Is it Appalachian or just plain Southern?
I love that, and I did want to talk about this with you. Wonderful.
We have to do this. Okay. Kjarn.
Kjarn is Appalachian.
Okay.
It's Appalachian.
I knew it!
I think it's Appalachian. There's a couple things that are Appalachian that I have specifically not talked about, even though I get so many messages from people being like, are you going to talk about Kjarn? And I'm like, I can't. It's not ours, you know? Well, I'll let you ask the other questions.
But you did, did you grow up with that phrase? Because I did.
Well, I've got some, distant relatives. And if you look at a map, there's a map of Appalachian culture and where it ends and like where it goes, and it dips real down low into Mississippi. And really, that map, that's the specific map I'm thinking about, ends in the county right next to me. That's where like Appalachian culture that map says. And I know it's not really Appalachian culture all the way down there, but I feel like we were like birthed by Appalachia in Laurel, Mississippi. Like the things my great grandmothers used to say is just so relevant to things that you say. Like it's also their sisters if Appalachia's not our mother, it's our sister.
There has to be. And also people that settled in Appalachia migrated to Arkansas even. So they're even on the culture.
Ended up down there, that Scots-Irish type situation.
Yeah.
But I have and even Kate, though, has some family. Now, she brings in some good culture because she's got some people from Acadiana down in Louisiana. And I don't understand a word they're saying.
I like that.
And I
like that messed up language.
I can't touch Cajun stuff because that's the whole thing. That's their whole language. But she also has some relatives that are here. And she's got a real great aunt. Not a great aunt, but she's an aunt. And her name is Dodie. She's Dodie.
Oh.
And she says Kjarn.
She is Kjarn.
And she's where I heard it first. But she's the only one I've ever heard it from, you know? So I'm like, I know that's not us. That's y'all.
Okay. All right. So Kjarn,
should you tell them what it means? Do they know what?
Kjarn is it's an iteration of the word carrion, which is rotting flesh.
Right.
So you would use it in a sentence like, boy, that fridge is plumb Kjarny.
Yeah.
You need to throw out something in there because you've been keeping everything in them Cool Whip containers.
And you have been that country crock.
That country crock, Cool Whip. Let's think of other ones. Well, just like
Land O'Lakes.
Land O'Lakes. That was a big one, was Land O'Lakes. But, there for a while in the 90s, they told them that the margarine was better for them than butter.
Oh, yeah.
So they just put that margarine on everything.
Snackwells, margarine, lean cuisine. I was raised on these things.
I'd come home, I'd fix me a lean cuisine and put on Oprah. That was my whole thing. And then taking that. Okay. Chester drawers.
Chester drawers. It took me a while to figure out that Chester drawers was not a person who had made some sort of significant contribution to furniture, and we had named this dresser after him, you know?
Yeah.
That was really a confusing one, honestly. That one shocked me. I don't remember how old I was, but I remember being like, oh.
Well, it's usually when you say it to another person that's not Southern, you go, you should move them Chester drawers over there. Excuse me?
I could have been in college before I figured that out.
Okay.
Like moving the Chester drawers around.
Right.
And that was shocking.
And then your roommate.
That was shocking. And he was from Missouri. And so he constantly was calling me on things like that. Like, I didn't know. Okay. Where I'm from, my accent is by far not the thickest. So I didn't even really feel like I had that much of a Southern accent. But he got me saying McDonald's one day. And I was like, that's what it is. And then he was like, there is no A in McDonald's. And I was like, my Lord, there's not. It's McDonald's. I didn't realize it's not McDonald's, but we call it McDonald's everywhere. So
100%.
He got me with Chester drawers and
the McDonald's. Okay. Whosper.
Whosper. Sometimes you got to call it those Whospers. They'll get everywhere. And that's so funny because I have a relationship with the Whospers on my house in that wherever they are, that's theirs now, you know?
Wow.
Like the front porch. They got the front porch last summer.
And they might move to the back porch
wherever
now.
they are next summer, that's what they'll get. And we'll let them have it.
You know what? They've maybe claimed that as their vacation home.
Well,
they might be them Boca Raton Whospers.
I did get my feelings hurt by them last year, though, because it's been years.
You're going to get more than your feelings hurt.
We've had this trust going on, you know, like I trust y'all, you trust me, we're staying over there. And I came out the door too fast last summer and got by one of them, and I was just like, it hurt, but it hurt my feelings more, you know. I was like, I thought we were friends.
Right, you thought you was roommates.
Yes, exactly.
You called them your roommates.
I the whole area.
I love the idea of you telling people I've got our new roommates, and then people just trying to go into your house and just getting flooded with Whospers. So. Yeah. Okay, so Whospers is Southern. Irish.
No. What do you mean?
I got you another one. Airish means if it's getting plumb airish outside, it's a little chilly. It's a little nippy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We need to put us a jacket on.
It could be getting airish in here. I'm taking that one.
Yeah, you can have that one. You can go up. But what we were trying to establish is you didn't grow up with that.
No,
I think it might be Appalachian.
I didn't grow up with that. I think it might be Appalachian.
I think it might be.
You've said one. Also, you said something in this conversation that's Appalachian.
What? Do it.
Yuns. Yuns is Appalachian.
Yuns is Appalachian.
And I think I've gotten more requests. Are you going to explain Yuns than even Kjarn? And I'm like, no, baby, that's not mine.
That's not mine. And I love you respecting our culture like that. I love that.
Well,
I love that. But you know what? You can borrow it because you're our cousin.
Okay, good. We're Appalachian cousins.
You're still kin to us. But you're just, it's not...
Respectfully.
Well, I can't endow you with a lot. Okay. when I die. I got to give it to all my, I got to give it to nieces and nephews. But cousins, you might get a pin or something. You might get a brooch. Yeah. Okay. How about this? A body.
A body?
Yeah.
Like we're going to find a body? Or we're going to catch a body? Like,
I almost have to put it in it's a noun, obviously, but it is how somebody would, instead of somebody, people would say a body.
No, that's y'all, but I like that.
Yeah, a body could. This is what I'd hear. It'd be a chaw. Usually, this would be mostly older men. Sometimes women would say it, but mostly older men. Somehow, they have a chaw permanently in their mouth. They never take that plug out. And it would be, body could move that.
I love that. And I've never heard that ever. But I wonder if I have and just hadn't paid attention to it, but because that's good.
That is a good one, isn't it?
I love when we're either going to add a bunch of syllables or take them all away, and just say the one thing. I like that.
I like that too. It's flavoring. It is a
little spice.
It's spice. Is it any count?
No count.
No count.
It ain't no count. No. No count at all.
No. And I don't know what that even, what that even really is.
Well, usually when I've heard it, it's somebody saying it's no good. He's like up to no good. He's not, you can't count on him even.
Yes.
Like that kind of a thing is what I've deduced.
Yeah.
But I hear it a lot.
Yeah.
It ain't no count.
It's no count. This is an idiom. Rode hard and put up wet.
Oh, yeah. She rode hard and put right up wet.
But what does that mean, Landon? Because I always took it dirty.
Well, it does. It is. I think that's what it means.
Okay.
She was out there being a little bit too easy.
She was at the Sonic too long.
She was down at the grill on Saturday night.
Yeah.
And she was out there for too long. Yeah, rode hard and put up wet.
Yeah.
I feel rode hard and put up wet. Sometimes I'm just like haggard.
Yes.
But yeah, that's a good one.
Sometimes... Well, we'll skip that. I almost got dirty. I forget your clean comment. I'm like, I forget.
It's not that I'm a clean comment. It's that my grandma's watching me.
This is true. Well, you know what? Mine is from heaven, and I'm sure she ain't pleased either. If my grandma could say anything, she'd say, Lord.
She'd say, they law.
They law.
Which is y'all. I think that's a y'all thing.
Okay, I'm glad we did that one too, because I didn't put that. They law.
Because the only person I've ever heard say that again is
me,
Dodie, and then you.
And Dodie said it.
And I feel like Dodie is representing Appalachian culture somehow.
Yeah.
In my area, but you and her, they law is y'all.
What if she ran in from the mountains and we just don't know it?
She probably did. Dodie, if you're listening to this, we got some stuff to figure out.
Ain't got a pot to piss in.
Not a pot to piss in. Don't have anything. And, a lot of us don't have a pot to piss in sometimes.
No.
It just is.
No, I didn't for a long time. And now the pot that I piss in.
But look at us now.
Barely getting by, producing our own podcast.
No. The illusion is we're doing really good.
Yes. I'm sorry. That's right, Tim.
All this is easy.
Tim, can you get us another Coke Zero?
A team of people here.
There is.
Audio, sound, camera. And
in my mind, there is my split personality. Okay, I got two more. 40-11.
40-11. Well,
40-11 times.
It's 50-11. I wonder why.
Yours is 50-11.
I've only ever heard 50-11. About 50-11 times we heard, but I don't.
By the time it made 40. It down there,
they added the extra 10
for the miles.
I like it.
Okay, 50-11 times. A dope.
A dope? Like he's a dope?
No, Coke.
Oh, no way. Okay, this is a conversation then. I've never heard that. But, everything is Coke.
Yes.
Everything is Coke.
Oh, yeah.
Everything is Coke besides Mountain Dew and Dr. Pepper. And maybe you know why Mountain Dew is Mountain Dew. I feel like it's an Appalachian thing. We're just like respecting the Mountain Dew. And I've never heard anybody call Mountain Dew Coke.
I want me a Mountain Dew. Yeah, and Dr. Pepper, it is its own little thing. It's like
they're their own thing.
Yeah, and it was always exhausting when you had when you had the Dr. Pepper relative that was coming, because they'd say, you got to pick up a Dr. Pepper because Tim's coming.
You're right. You got to have it all there. And this brings us to the hierarchy of covered dishes and stuff.
Sure.
I have not yet made it to sodas to Cokes because I mess up. I'm napkins, knives, forks, plates, and I'll mess that up every now and then.
Right.
Just to be sure I can't be moved up to bring in the Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
That gets to being stressful. It can be too much.
Yeah, because they call you and they say, can you bring the Cokes? And then sometimes you forget, but can I just be honest? Sometimes it's nice when the Dr. Pepper relative dies, because usually they wasn't no count anyway.
No count. You're right.
They never came to a church play or anything you ever did.
The Dr. Pepper relative is peripheral.
Yes.
Like they're on the outskirts, you know? I never thought about that. That's so true. That is such a specific character. That is for real.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
And they need to be catered to.
Hilarious.
They need to be
gotta
catered
get them
to.
the Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Because, when we know we're supposed to bring the Cokes, we got to get Coke, Diet Coke, a Sprite probably.
Sprite.
Maybe Melio.
For the kids. Sprite for the kids.
Sprite for the kids.
'Cause it's better. It's better for them.
Calling me straight out, because I literally will buy myself a Coke and get Charlie a Sprite and be like, healthy. There's no caffeine in it, like. It's health. A picture of health and wellness. That's Sprite. It's hilarious. Now they got Sprite Zero, though, y'all. It's like a whole thing.
Oh, my God. Changing.
Sprite Zero.
I love it. The times they are changing. And you could do a good Shirley Temple with that, too. But nobody ever did that. Nobody ever got fancy. I mean,
no, we're not mixing drinks at Sunday lunch.
Let me tell you something. The fanciest they got was bringing that sherbet ice cream and pouring Sprite all over it.
And wasn't it so good, though?
It was so good.
I love a sherbet punch. Sherbet punch. And also, I was very surprised to learn sherbet is not spelled sherbet. It's spelled
sherbet.
Sherbet.
Yeah.
Whatever. Who is saying that? Highfalutin is what I say to that. Sherbet.
I did know. We had a church coordinator that said sherbet, and I think she had
Sounds wrong.
I think she had a relative from the north that would come in and say,
Well, sometimes it is fun to pronounce a word differently than everybody else, just to show them that you're better than them.
Yes, and I would. There for a minute, I got on aunt.
Oh yeah.
I was going aunt instead of aunt,
and that is just fancy.
It was.
It's really hard. You were letting them know.
Yeah.
You're like, no, I'm very worldly.
Let me tell you, my family also got on. They were really highfalutin with saying mature.
Oh, mature. That's good.
I don't even know if that's correct.
I like
actually.
that though. That's fun. That feels right. It feels good.
That's not very mature of you.
Mature. That's good.
Yeah.
Because we're mature.
Yeah. Mature. Yeah, but it was like couture.
Yeah,
it was almost like they were adding a
Fancy.
French something to it.
Very fancy.
Okay, one more, Landon. Let me try to go out with something good. To give someone the what for.
The what for? You got to give them the what for.
Got to give
the
them
who's who and the what for and all that. You got to give it to them. You got to let them know.
You got to let them know.
And you do have to let them know.
And I will give somebody the what for if they try to tell me they don't like that new Lady Gaga album. I'll give them the what for.
Y'all, she is given early Lady Gaga.
100%, and that's what we've been needing.
We wanted this. We asked for this. The Little Monsters are back, I feel like, and we needed that. We needed that win.
Honey, recession pop.
We needed that win.
Yeah,
we needed Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl performance.
Yes, we did.
We needed those jeans.
We did.
Those jeans
You got some.
lifted my spirit. I did. And oh my gosh, I never want to brag about anything, but y'all, I told American Eagle to send me jeans, and they just did.
No, they did.
They just sent me jeans, and they didn't even send a press package. It was just a bag of jeans, and I was like, "What?"
Landon.
2001 me would die dead right there.
Well, that would have been, you made it.
I mean,
you might as well have been kissed by Elvis Presley.
Because just getting a pair of American Eagle jeans was a deal.
Oh, yeah.
American Eagle themselves follow me? What do y'all mean?
I have to do this. Was there levels, because it was all about name brand when we were in school.
Oh, yeah.
In your school, were there levels of coolness depending on what name brand? Can I tell you mine?
Yes.
And tell me if it matches. Down here at the bottom, we call it Aeropostale.
Yes.
Aeropostale, American Eagle, Hollister, Abercrombie.
Yes. Yes. And then over to the side, like near Abercrombie and Fitch, was Buckle. The Buckle.
That's right.
Those expensive jeans.
And you got to layer that stuff too, so it's very expensive.
And that was such a big deal then.
It was huge.
And you couldn't, being, especially like us, wanting to be like a little bit alternative, it was so hard to find like fun clothes that didn't everybody else have.
I know.
So we would end up going to the Galleria in Birmingham, and I would feel like I was fancy at the Buckle or at the Hollister, you know. But
yeah.
I don't know. That was the whole thing, but that is exactly the ranking.
That was the ranking.
What it is.
I knew it. I knew that.
That's really something.
So it's the same in Appalachia as it is in Southern, and that was a universal early 2000s kids thing.